Let's find out what's going on in the world of the media with Sophie Ellsworth, media writer at The Australian. Thanks for joining us again, Sophie. A legal issue now between our own company, Sky News, and one of the fact-checking mobs, RMIT, one this is linked to. It's quite interesting. It's about the licensing of fact-check organisations with the digital giants. And, you know, it all gets very technical. But in the end, if you're going to claim to be a fact-checker, you've got to be absolutely 100% right, don't you?
Well, of course you do, Chris. That's one of the most important things about being a fact checker. But one of the core issues here is that the RMIT Fact Lab did not have relevant certification, fact-checking certification, when it was doing fact checks, including on work published by Sky News. And then it was putting these claims out that there was false information made by Sky News. So it's incredibly problematic. And as a result, Chris, Meta has suspended its relationship with RMIT Fact Lab over concerns also of bias relating in favour to The Voice. So this has given fact-checking a very bad name, Chris.
Yeah, well, I've just done a fact check today where a couple of them have got it wrong. A couple of them have said that it's wrong to say Warren Mundine has changed position on The Voice. And I've demonstrated very clearly with my own interview that he has changed his position on The Voice. So there's an ABC fact check and AAP fact check who have got it wrong. It's a complex issue and people have to check all their sources. The thing on the Uluru statement, for instance, it's very clear. It's one page. But you're able to sort of muddle around because one of the people on the yes side has claimed rather grandiosely that there's all these other pages. So you've got to cut through all that slack. It's not a simple yes or no answer sometimes. The Guardian now, though, are going to get
Chris,
into fact checking.
That's the issue. That's right. But, Chris, that is the issue. I mean, Paul Barry on Media Watch, as you know, with the Uluru statement, said it was in dispute as to whether it was one page or 26 pages. Now, I know your view on this, Chris, that it's one page, but there is debate over whether it is one or whether it is 26. So where are RMIT to decide what is right or wrong?
Well, you've just got to decide if it's a fact-checking, you've got to decide which is the fact. But you can also point out that others are hanging on to something else to make another claim, which is why Paul Barry said it's in dispute. But, I mean, it's one page, the Uluru statement. I don't think anybody believes otherwise. And,
well,
and
Chris,
even
we
Megan
can disagree on this.
Megan Davis has tried to explain her own position, and when you look at what she's been saying, it's one-page statement and then there's these other things. So we could go around in circles forever
on this. But, Chris, these voice architects have actually come out and words from their own mouths saying it is longer than one page. Yeah. So, I mean, it's coming out of their own mouth, Chris. So how do they take those statements back?
I agree, because they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong as well, and that you can see why they're wrong.
Well, they said it.
They did say it. There's no doubt. And that's why I'm saying there's that grey area, and you've got to allow for that. And that's why the fact checkers, if there's a grey area, have to allow for it. And in that case, they didn't. They tried to be really a hard line on it. Have we got time for the Guardian fact checking? Yeah, just briefly. They're going to fact check on The Voice. Are we going to trust them now?
Well, Chris, just rest easy, because when RMIT fact checks in a bit of strife at the moment with Meta, you now have Guardian fact checking. They've come out and said they will be fact checking in the lead up to The Voice. So I think that's going to be very entertaining, Chris.
Yeah, it is indeed. As I said, I did a bit of fact checking earlier on Warren Mundine. Everybody do your own fact checking, but make sure you get it right. Thanks so much for joining us, Sophie. I appreciate it.